Hello, I'm Shane Strubart, and welcome to Focal Point, a look into Harlingen CISD's winning team. Today we are joined by Dr. Sabrina Quintana, HCISD's Director of Music. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in the small town of Manatee Springs, just outside of Colorado Springs, and I always say on a good day, the population was about 3,000.
Oh, 3,000.
So
wow.
I went from, living in a very small town and then eventually Colorado Springs, to living in Dallas and then Boston. So that was quite a contrast, and so it's nice to be here. While I was in Colorado, I got my bachelor's degree at Colorado State University and then moved to the Dallas area and started teaching there and pursued my master's degree at University of North Texas. And in those degrees, I studied music education, solo voice, classical voice training, and conducting. As soon as my daughters grew up, I decided to go pursue my doctorate degree at Boston University and did that in conducting and music education. So the emphasis of my training is in music specifically. And after I graduated, what else do you do when you enjoy education? You go get one more degree.
Right.
And so I stayed at Boston University and got a second master's in education administration. And so I think between my daughters and I, we have enough degrees.
That's fantastic. What sparked your interest in music?
I have an uncle that is a professional conductor and singer, and he was quite an inspiration to me. And also, we always had music in our home. My parents owned a piano, so I learned how to play the piano, and I took voice lessons. And but I think the one thing that I could name that really started it all was when I was a little girl. I think I was 4 or 5. And I gathered the family in the living room and insisted that they be quiet so they could listen while I sang "I'm a Little Teapot."
Oh my gosh. What made you decide to be a part of HCISD's winning team?
Well, I think HCISD is definitely a winning team. The music department has a lot of accolades, and they work very hard. We have bands, choirs, orchestras that have gone to state, that have won excellent ratings at UIL competitions, and they call them sweepstakes and first division ratings, and those are things that really are attractive. Also, I felt that there was a lot of evidence that the community here and the school district supports the music programs, and I think that is really quite a very good draw, where other areas of the country, they're cutting out fine arts completely. We are so fortunate to have that built into our education system as an integral part of a student's learning.
It's true. Harlingen is very focused on fine arts. I've watched plays and musicals and orchestras for many years, and they've always been top notch. Now, what are you doing right now to get to know your staff?
Well, a number of things. I think it's very important to get to know them one-on-one and as a group. So we started out the school year by having some in-service time, and we came together and I introduced myself, and I think it was maybe the first time in recent years that all the music teachers from kindergarten through 12th grade were in the same room at the same time. And so that was fun. And I broke them down into small groups. We had an activity, and each group was invited to give some input on things that they like about the music department and things that they would aspire for the music department to grow to. Then those groups had a chance to stand up in front of the large group and report each of them said. And so that was really a wonderful way to introduce ourselves to each other. From there, I am going around to the campuses and just visiting their classrooms, see where they live when they're not at home, and just get an idea of what they're doing in their classes. And so that's really been wonderful. I would like to have routine, regularly scheduled meetings with them, and so that we can work together and get to know each other better.
I've seen the list of all the concerts we have this year so far, and it's a lot.
Yes.
Can you tell us what everyone's doing to get ready for those concerts?
Well, in fact, they get started usually in the spring for the following year. They have been to music conferences over the summer, which allows for collaboration of new ideas to bring to the classroom. It offers them a chance to hear new music, and because new music is being composed constantly, faster than we can even perform it. So they have some tough choices to make. So half of the getting ready is selecting the music for the secondary ensembles, especially where they are more performance oriented. And then trying to integrate their teaching and learning goals into that music, and making sure those things kind of jive. So there's a lot of learning that goes into the preparation for the school year and for the concerts as well. And then we have things like booking the sites and making sure the schedule is set, and there's
a lot of work involved.
Yes,
isn't there?
making sure everybody has the instruments that they need at both the elementary and secondary level, and there's a lot involved, and it's a lot of fun getting ready. So, yeah.
Can you tell us about some of the goals that you have set for us for the music department?
Yes, I'd love to talk about that. In fact, some of these goals are derived from the in-service responses and the things that the teachers would like to see happen. For instance, having more time to collaborate and developing collaboration systems that span across the district. Now, right now, in our curriculum and instruction division, we're working on Harlingen professional learning communities, and that is simply, teachers working together to improve instruction. If I could boil it down to the basic essence, and for music to be able to develop professional learning communities within our department, that means that we need time to be able to get together. Say an elementary teacher collaborating with a secondary choir teacher, or elementary teachers coming together with the band directors. What can we do to strengthen things? All of the orchestra teachers getting together to work on things. So that first goal that I have really is to develop professional learning communities across the district. And then second to that, I think that instead of me saying, we need to improve this, I want to use those professional learning communities within the music department to work on an improvement plan for the district, for the music department across the district. And then I see that we need to work on some curriculum things. I think it would be really helpful to our department if students arriving, say, at middle school are prepared, that there's no gap between the elementary level and the middle school, and then from middle school to high school, that we have a curriculum that flows seamlessly between these different levels. And I'd like to see our elementary music teachers have more opportunity to teach. A few more minutes per week would be great. So,
I know my daughter would be excited about that.
Yeah. The school that I happen to come from, school district, the students were fortunate to have one 45-minute music period per day, and that was really quite a nice luxury. And so I don't know if we'll get to that point. Right now they have one 45-minute lesson per week. So hopefully we can work on increasing that.
I'm sure we will.
And I think that the trickle-up effect will benefit everybody, especially the students.
That's exactly right. At this time, would you like to say anything to the community?
Well, I know this has been a brief discussion, but I would like to thank you all for welcoming me here to Harlingen and Harlingen School District. I would like to invite people to come and see me or communicate. I have an open communication policy, and I welcome communication from parents, students, teachers, administrators, and the general community as well. And finally, I would like to encourage parents to be involved in their music program at their schools. Music is a very vital, important role in a child's education. And the best thing that parents can do is be supportive and find out what needs to be done, what kind of help they can offer to help move their programs forward.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being on the show with us today, Dr. Quintana. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
And thank you for joining us on this edition of Focal Point. I'm Shane Strubar. Be sure to join us next time as we take another look into Harlingen CISD's winning team.